Hey guys, it's Holly, and I'm back with a repair video. As any retro gamer knows, especially a fan of the N64, there's controller dust everywhere, the analog stick can tend to become a little wobbly. Some can even just hang. Now, this controller is new to me. I got this from another YouTuber, and the control stick is just a little bit loose. So what I'm going to do is repair it, and I thought it'd be a good video to post to show you guys how to fix your N64 analog sticks. As you can see, this one's pretty tight, but this one is a little wobbly. Now the reason this happens is because the parts inside the analog component actually grind, and you'll notice controller dust. It's this white dust that'll start to come out. This one actually has some too. And it starts to come out of the center because the analog stick itself is actually being ground down. So move this one out of the way. And all you need is either some packing tape, which is the least recommended, but you can use it. It works just fine. Or some plumber's tape, which is what I have here. A pair of scissors, a Phillips screwdriver, and a Q-tip and some cleaning cloth of some sort. So I have a wipe there, I have a Q-tip, and all you do is turn the controller over. There's 2 screws around the memory unit, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 around the unit itself, just for ease and convenience. I removed all of them, but one here. So basically all you do is just take this whole back plate off and set it aside. So in here you have your analog stick, and it's connected with 3 screws, which you can take off. They're up here, I already took them off. And then you just take off, you'll see there's 2 little clamps here. You just take off this board, gently, very gently, and just kind of put it aside. And then the analog stick is connected electronically here to the board. So all you do is very gently, again, pull that out. So you have the analog unit itself. And I mean, if you wanted to, you could just replace this unit with any other N64 controller, you'd be done. You could just replace the stick itself, or you could repair it by how I'm going to show you. So there's 1 screw in the unit that you have to take out, and I'll just move this aside. And like I said, when I first opened this up, there was a tremendous amount of controller dust. Alright, so once you get the screw off, all you have to do, you'll see there's a spring in here, so be really careful not to strip the screw, because it can strip a little bit. And you just push this down and undo these 2 clamps here, and the analog stick will come off. Now what you want to do is clean out any controller dust. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's controller dust all over this. And like I said, what this is the analog stick. It's just breaking down over time. And then you just put this back in. Now, what's really important is that you follow the gears here so that it tracks. And then this part, all you do is hold the stick at the bottom, pull the spring down, take this off. You can take the spring and the ring off, which is an O-ring, and then the controller stick comes out. So here you can see the wear on the controller and the dust, so just clean it off. And sometimes there can be quite an amount of this in there. And then clean off the stick, which we're going to make some adaptations to in a minute, and clean off the other component for the analog movement. So this stick is our main problem. It wears in 2 places. It wears between the head and the little circle. You can actually see plastic wearing there. And it also wears on this oval. See here how there's like a little chunk out of the sides? It's actually wearing there. So what you do is you can either take your packing tape, or in this case plumber's tape, and you want it to be very thin. What you're going to do is wrap it around that part of the analog stick and then the top part of the analog stick once it's reinserted. Just going to cut it straight. So you want your strip to be about this big. Now with the plumber's tape it's going to stretch, and you don't want to put that much on. So you just peel your back off, which can require a little bit of dexterity, and you apply it like so. And anyone who's used this stuff knows that when you stretch it, it stretches quite a bit, and it actually sticks to itself. So you just wrap it around, and you don't need it to be really thick or anything. You do want to make sure that you've got a good seal on it. So I'll just snap it off there. And I'll save that piece because I'm going to use it for the top. And then just make sure it fits okay. So there you go. That's the first piece fixed. So then what you do is you put your analog stick back in here. You put your spring in. And you put this in here. Oop. So that's the first part done there. And then you just have to do the top, which it's a little more tricky because you want to do it with all the components attached. But you just stretch the plumber's tape like so, and wrap it around. And just break it off. There we go. And then bring the analog stick back. And this is how you want to position it to put it back together. So you want the small ball piece up here, the gear piece at the bottom, and you want the T just like that. So we've got the plumber's tape on the square part and on the round. And then all we do is put it back together. So the first thing you do is you clip in the two back clips, just like that, and then you attach the screw. And as you can see, without even attaching the screw, that the analog controller is much better. It's much stiffer. And it'll actually get better play. So let me go ahead and put the screw back in. And again, you just want to hold this firmly because of the spring. There we go. That is one fixed analog stick. It's actually quite responsive now. So anyone who's got the droopy analog stick or is having problems, you can do that. And then we'll put it back together here. So all you do is turn it over and attach it back on the board just by plugging this back in. Just like so. And then you put it back down here and we'll screw that back in place. Alright, once it's screwed back in place, you just place this board back in that clip and make sure that your rubber Z button is back in place as well. You can clean any of these components while you're in here. And then you just simply put the back on. And you just want to make sure that your L and R buttons are lined up. And there's actually a little hole right there. There you go. Now you just put your screws back in. And so there you go. There is a new Jungle Green controller with a completely repaired analog stick. And you don't have to worry about the plastic wearing anymore because the plumber's tape is now there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That was my N64 analog stick controller repair video.